So, y'all, I hate to be the bearer of bad but expected news. Uh, this deadline article to me just means that, like, we just prepare for a botched season 3. Like, I don't know. Basically, it's like a HBO executive talking about what it's like to work with George R.R. Martin. And I am just not encouraged by the things that they're saying. I just feel like at the very base level of things, at the very foundation of a good show based off of an author's work, is you respecting the author. Like, you know, and some of the things that I feel like they say in this article just does not give me that. Prepare for a botched season 3. All right, so this is what they're talking about. Y'all already know. If you want to read the full article, make sure you check the link in my description. So they said, Deadline says, rocky marriage. That's the only way HBO chief Casey Bloys can describe what it's like to work with the talented and often unpredictable creator that is George R.R. Martin. While talking about HBO's upcoming slate at a press conference Tuesday, Bloys was asked to weigh in about the sometimes challenging task of working with Martin. And I already don't like how they phrasing it already. Like, I don't like how they framing him already, you know? Like, it's so challenging to work with Martin. Why is it challenging? Because y'all not listening to the literal author of the books you're trying to adapt? Let me get it. Girl. It hit a particularly uncomfortable point at the end of season 2 of House of the Dragon, with Martin threatening to spill some tea on his blog about what went wrong on the Game of Thrones prequel. Martin ended up deleting the post while HBO put out a statement that said there are few. Yeah, we already know what they said about that stuff, and it felt so laughable. On Tuesday, Bloys expanded on those thoughts by saying that, of course, he would like to keep Martin happy. He is very important to me, to us, he told reporters. But when we put shows together, it's like putting a marriage together. Marriages can be difficult, especially when Ryan Condal is making creative decisions and adapting work. It can be fraught. Any marriage can get rocky. I would prefer everybody get along, of course, but with the creative process, we are always going to have bumps. That's to be expected. In other more depressing news, Bloys once again confirmed, oh, girl, we already knew that. That Jon Snow spinoff ain't happening unless, like I said, unless y'all serving me Jon Snow's head on a silver platter for what he did to my queen. And after y'all butchered her character, y'all don't need. I don't need to see Jon's face. I don't need to see Jon's face unless it's detached from his body. Get out my face. So the reason why I think that season 3 is going to continue to be botched because of the way that this literal HBO executive is talking about it. He's not talking about it in a way like, okay, we're going to try and align with the with what the author is saying from here on out. I would like for us, even if you don't say something that explicit, he could say, I would like for us moving forward to be on the same page narratively, like when it comes to the show. I'm not talking about getting along like kumbaya. Like, no, I'm talking about what y'all doing to the I'm talking about the show. I'm talking about the act. What's the content of the show? Like, okay, you talking about getting along and working together. He is raising concerns about the actual content of the show, sweetheart. Like, what are y'all talking about? And so instead of phrasing it like, oh, marriage is hard and it's like a marriage. No, it's a business partnership. It's a business partnership. It's not a marriage, hun. And so to me, they're acting like, oh, George, this article, it just seems overall like, oh, George is so hard to work with. You see, he's, making all these rants and stuff on his blog posts on his website, child. He's so hard to work with. Meanwhile, the only thing that George is doing, he's not asking y'all to go out right now and try to find dragons in real life and put them in the show. Like, and he said over and over and over that, like, he knows that things have to change for TV, but he is just saying there are changes that he considers to be legitimate and changes that are whack. And I don't understand how you as a company y'all just like treating this as it's honestly as if it's like almost like, oh, whatever, like trying to brush it off as if it's like a disgruntled fan or something, a fan that's mad. No, it's the creator of your entire lore that's mad at y'all. Like, Like, y'all are really acting like it's some random off of Twitter who's just like, oh, yeah, well, he's just mad. He gonna rant and rave, but it's okay. We're gonna continue to make money. And it's just like, yeah, okay, y'all gonna continue to make money. We already know that. But like I said, I've done videos on this already talking about, okay, is this a sustainable thing where y'all deviate every single show or prequel that comes out, you deviate further and further away from what the author originally wanted? Is that what it's gonna be? You know what I mean? And is that something that's sustainable? That's the question that I've been asking ever since season 8, all that fiasco with Game of Thrones ending. Like, the sustainability of diverging more and more away from what the author intended. And so, yeah, I just thought that this was kind of like so whack to like phrase it or to frame it as if George is just this so hard to work with and he is being so difficult and marriages can be difficult. It's like putting together a marriage. But it just seems to me that y'all are really ignoring the fact that, hey, or the fact that this guy is saying, hey, y'all, like, you're taking slowly, you're taking the essence, more and more of the essence out of my story. Like, you're taking the essence of what it is out of my story. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, how long are y'all going to be able to run away from what he actually envisioned for the show while trying to adapt the stuff for TV? So I just think it's really crazy to put this out instead of, like, y'all could have approached this from 15 different ways that are better than this. Like I said before, it shouldn't feel like you're talking about a random fan. You know, when this is the literal creator that is pointing out, I mean, he did bullet points and it like breaking it down like it was a lesson in school. Like he broke it all down. And so for them to act like they still confused and he's so hard to work with, and well, things can be difficult sometimes. It wouldn't be this difficult if y'all just sat down and listened to what the author is saying. And I just think that people who are saying that, oh, well, George is asking for too much, he needs to sit down, okay, you can talk with him about, girl, like, why did you even sell this stuff to HBO? Like, that's one thing. But it's just crazy for me to see people really expect somebody who put their heart and soul into like something that they're writing or creating, and just expect for them to shut up like when they think that someone is butchering it. Whether you think that's the case or not, just the simple fact that this person is the creator and they're telling you, like, hey, as a company, I wouldn't want the creator of the franchise that I'm adapting, like as HBO, I wouldn't want the creator of the franchise that I'm adapting to be this angry, Like, it would be one thing, like I said, if I felt like George was asking for things that are just completely unreasonable. Like I said, if he was asking y'all to go out there and find a dragon in real life, find a fire-breathing dragon in real life. But to me, he's not. He's just asking for the basic, like, just stick to the story. That's what, just stick to the story, girl, And the further away you deviate, the more shaky the entire cinematic universe of these different shows in the A Song of Ice and Fire universe that y'all trying to make, the more y'all deviate from what he envisioned, the more crazy y'all cinematic universe is gonna look. Because it was already crazy because we had to, every time we watch House of the Dragon, we have to literally ignore the fact that all that we're watching right now is going to end. All of it is going to culminate in season 8 of Game of Thrones. Like, we literally have to turn that part of our brain off when we watch House of the Dragon. So y'all already deviated far enough, and you still doing it? That's what I said. I'm like, how is it gonna come to a point where I'm turning too much of my brain off, because I already have to do with House of the Dragon, to pretend like Daenerys ain't gonna come in here and be a victim of bad writing. I mean, rushed writing. We literally have to turn our brains off. So the more y'all deviate from what George envisions, the more we're going to have to turn our brains off. That's what I'm saying. So, and I'm sure, like, at this point, Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, whatever, is their billion-dollar franchise. Like, they ain't pressed. But I just wonder what the future of it will look like if this is the path that these HBO executives are going to continue to go down. It don't sound like that. It sounds like they're saying from this article, like, hey, we going to do what we want to do, and George going to continue to be mad about it. Just like, a shaky marriage or marriage. Like, oh, girl, I'll be rolling my eyes if I was George watching this. Just stick to the story, mama. Anyway, please let me know what y'all think of this, because I saw this article and immediately hopped up to to talk about it, Because I was like, y'all, they making me so mad. Like, they making me so mad. And I don't want this to be another D&D. Like, I don't want this to be another Dumb and Dumber. You know? Please, y'all, please. Just, where's season 3? Like, we need to just start the dragging already. Let's start the dragging already. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. Love y'all so much, and I'll check y'all later. Peace. All right, y'all, make sure that you're going to www.zoraxia.com. When you join the wait list there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book, so you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, this sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Zoraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing fantasy and stuff, so just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. It's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zoraxia, Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zoraxia, The Vengeance of Coldwind, right? And go to Zoraxia.com, sign up, join the wait list, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.